Good evening once again, everyone. My name is Mr. Smaghannigan, and tonight, whenever, we're going to be doing part 4 of the Alundra Let's Play, where we will end up seeing Alundra's powers actually, well, not manifesting, but we will see them in action. It's going to be some pretty cool stuff. Now, having explored Tarn Manor, the immediate countryside outside of Manor village, and having picked up the Book of Eleanor, we go to Septimus's house to find that it's locked. So, he must have gone somewhere, possibly to Wendell's house, to try and help the poor old man. Now, his entire family is surrounding him. His entire immediate family, I suppose. There's the twins are displeased. The twins' parents are not. Were unhappy with what happened. Their mother is like, oh, damn it, this didn't work. I should have tried harder. And Mead is, I think it was Mead. Mead isn't doing too good either. And thankfully, Septimus knows how to read, so we are going to see exactly what happens. Not that, Alundra doesn't know how to read, but, Septimus knows what he's looking for. And thankfully, what he's looking for is on the very first page of the book. Don't ask how that works. Apparently it had a brilliant intro. We can finally find out how to enter, how to save Wendell from his nightmare by entering his mind. It's going to be crazy. Almost like a dude called the Dreamwalker can enter people's dreams. Who'd have thought it? Now, anyway, here we get told how the Dreamwalkers are able to enter people's mindscapes. And presumably, well, obviously it won't work on people who are dead. Simple enough. But does that mean it won't work with people who don't have wrists? Or would they find a different place, like, hold the neck or something? I don't know. Anyway, we enter the mindscape of Wendell in his nightmare. Dream. Sorry, my mistake. This is the sort of thing you dream about, right? Boardwalks, blocks, screaming. And switches. And chasms with clouds. So, you can't just climb over without difficulty at all. Walk forward because Wendell is off screen, so that we can actually see him for once. You can just see him surrounded by 5 slimes, so this is going to take ages to kill because, 25 strikes. That takes a lot of time. And they move all sorts of erratically, maybe. Ooh. Now, I can understand why an old man with only a cane would have trouble with this. Alright, we finally strike the switch, because there's no way for us to actually hop over and help him. As I found out recently, not just that it's not that it's just really tall and we can't just climb up to it. Anyway, here's more perspective silliness. These are, there are boardwalks behind those that you can't see. It's meant to trick your mind. Now that if you actually had Alundra's sort of viewpoint, you could see that this is actually a lot easier to deal with, at least in this viewpoint. And here we find yet another herb. I really should take like a count of how many herbs there are in the world, and see how many times over Alundra would not be able to pick them up if he never used herbs. Thankfully, I do find reasons to use them, so, yeah. I'm not entirely sure why I flicked that switch the first time. I thought maybe, this block will move further. Nah, you just gotta go along the boardwalks that have no railings. We're only guarded by the amazing mental power of invisible walls. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure if there was a way to fall into here, there would be a way to get out as well. It's not like Legend of Zelda where you fall into a pit and you lose half your health. Not half your health, half a heart. And get teleported back to the room. Now, this place is a lot more open-ended. Thankfully, we're almost out of this place. Up there is... we could just go straight to the next area, but we want to get that treasure chest because it has shinies. And what I'm interested in is if this is this is obviously like constructed to trap the old man in his own mindscape. What if it was constructed out of the guy's mindscape, as it were? Like, this is all actually his like mentality and such, and we're just going into treasure chests and robbing him of precious memories. I also like as well how Alundra turns around as the scream of the music plays. Like, wait, hold on, there's music playing. Who the hell is playing with the Kano system? Yes. Thankfully, the only thing messing with Wendell's mind right now, or, you know, trapping Wendell in his nightmare, is just a ton of slime. I don't want to know the implications of that. Thankfully, there's bushes around to give us health in the off chance that I screw up, which I did there on purpose, purely because, well, I may as well grab the health and make it useful. Also, another amusing thing to think of, how the hell does Alundra pick up these items and then have them magically appear in his backpack in the real world? Oh, and thankfully you didn't get hit by that button, which is used to reset this puzzle with giant air quotations in them. Anyway, oh, whoops. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, nightmares. Well, mindscapes. I understand that it's basically easier to do this sort of thing. I did a dumb thing here. It's a lot easier to just have it so that you can't, what was it, to have it so that if anything you take from someone's mind, and I use that very well to heal 1 hit point, anything you take from a mindscape just gets transferred to your backpack straight away, but it's kind of weird. Yes, we have some lovely introductions before the slime decides, nope, you're not allowed to do this. We're blocking you in, and you are going to have to fight. Now, 5 slimes would be too easy to fight, so they all morph into one big old gelatinoid. And yes, that's the actual name of the damn thing. I don't know why I let that damage hit me, but whatever. Unfortunately, because this is the first boss, it's going to be very, very simple. It's just like, yep, this is going to take a while. I hope you like battles with attrition, my friend, because this is what this is. Haha. What I learnt as well, like I said with the bit about how the characters were changed for the US localization and, you know, UK and all that sort of stuff. So too were the bosses and the enemies and such. Like, the enemies for some reason take more hits to kill, but the bosses take fewer hits to kill. And they traded that off by making it so that making it so that the bosses deal more damage, which will become very apparent later on. And here we have the first split, and yes, first split. The second one is going to be even more irritating. But yeah, bosses ended up taking, what was it? And bosses in the original release of this game in Japan had a lot more HP, but did a lot less damage to you. Like, you could easily take damage from the final boss without having to worry about your health, even if you didn't have max health. In this version, well, you'll see. But yes, the bosses were made hard hitting, or the bosses were made so they could actually hit worth a damn, but they were slightly, you know, weaker. Sort of like changing them from glaciers to glass cannons. As much as I loathe to use terms from TV tropes. And yes, 5 slimes turned into 1 giant slime, which turned into 4 medium slimes, which turned into 16 tiny slimes. The maths here is kind of crazy, but I suppose it's a nightmare. It can do whatever the hell it wants. If it wants to just immediately kill you, well, it won't be able to do that. It immediately needs to do like a really crazy attack first. Thankfully, the gelatinoid does not have that. And we killed, what was it, half of them now? More than half of them. Yeah, we killed more than half of them by now. And we're slowly weeding out the last ones, which slowly chipped me away. Thankfully, I don't need to use any more herbs at this point. And thankfully, Wendell doesn't. We don't need to worry about not getting Wendell hurt because he's just sort of an NPC there. And yes, here we get a pose as the gelatinoid has been defeated. Yes, I needed to read that out. Anyway, thankfully, we don't need to worry about why did I say Giles? I don't know. We don't need to worry about Wendell, thankfully, because he's, you know, he's just an NPC there. And yeah, we've saved him. He's glad for the help. I mean, wouldn't you be glad if you were saved from a nightmare that locked you into your own body? I'm pretty sure that's a real thing as well. Not the nightmare thing, but being locked into your own body. Alundra doesn't know what the hell's going on, but he can hear people on the outside. I suppose if someone's talking right into the guy's ear, you're just like, wow, you can hear him right well. And thankfully, Wendell is no longer suffering, so we can finally exit this dreamscape and enter back into the real world, where we get a lovely description of what exactly happens to Alundra when he enters someone's body. And yeah, here we are. Apparently, when he finally makes a connection and transfers himself over to someone's mind, his body immediately loses control and is just like, oh, on here. I kind of wonder how people were able to do this without accidentally without the guy letting go and losing connection, as it were. Sorry, I got to stop making jokes about that sort of thing. It's just like, yep, this is a mind file transfer. But yep, everyone is pleased because Wendell is finally awake. And here we see what exactly is going on, because he's no longer in a state of despair or in a disposition of unhappiness. And yeah, they're very glad that he's alive. And we get more, as it is, we get proof that, well, the characters get proof that Alundra did actually enter the guy's mind and save him, because, well, it's described in about 5 seconds. But it's kind of amusing that, what was it, it locks them into their mind so thoroughly that they can actually feel, like, exhaustion and all that sort of stuff. They feel what's in their mind. Kind of weird. And speaking of kind of weird, here's Giles. That might be why I said his name before, because it's like, well, I know he's going to be there. He's just sort of looking through whatever the hell flowers they are. Not petunias, I don't think. As the dog's just sort of pissing about doing whatever it wants. Just ruining the cutscene. And now we finally get to leave the Wendell family to do whatever the hell they want, you know, to leave them to rest, as it were. I'm just wondering, he was there for 3 days. What the hell would the state of the bed be by now? Like, I don't even want to know. And no, that isn't the highest brow joke you've ever heard of. It's just an actual legitimate concern. And here we have someone walking in from the screen, is just like, I want your help. No. I gotta stop tapping my table here. And yeah. We get summoned forth to the sanctuary that was initially locked when we were exploring. And yeah, we get to go speak with Chancellor Ronan, who thankfully is not a member of a boy band from the 90s. Yeah, his last name isn't Keating. No. Anyway. Yep, Alundra has got a very full day ahead of him. He's explored a creepy manor. He has explored the creepy mindscape of an old man. And now we get to go explore. Well, we now get to go see a potentially creepy, well, man. No, there's nothing wrong with the Chancellor. He's just an old religious man. No, there's never anything wrong with old religious men in RPGs. And now we get to RPGs, games in general, whatever. And as we get to see the inside of the sanctuary for the first time, it's brilliant. And Ronan here is very certain that it was the gods that gave him a chance. Well, it was actually Alundra, but we're not going to be rude about this. What I mean, would you be rude to a guy who's obviously, you know, of the faith? That's just rude. Anyway, we've prayed here, and it's all well and good. There's nothing potentially weird going on at all. I mean, Giles is being weird, sort of creepy, really. Man, I really need to check things. Now, don't know why I attacked this place, but weird stuff, I don't know. Just sort of take a look back, it's like, this place is weird. And we leave. Thankfully nothing much happens there at the moment. But with that done, things change slightly. Not much, though. Cephas changes what he says, but that's mainly because of Tarn Manor. And yeah, he's basically confirming that Klein, the guy with a crossbow on his back, guns mounted to his wall, and several animals' skins and heads on the walls and floor of his house, is a hunter. Like, we need more hints. Anyway, I wanted to check Olin's house to see if anything had changed, and rather unfortunately, it hadn't. Even after the 6 seconds it took to load the next area. He's still there as per usual. Nothing changing as per usual. And everything, guess what? It was as per usual. I've got to stop leaning into the microphone and just, giving people a bit of an ear tickle. It confuses people, apparently. Now, we finally start heading back to, Jess's house so we can save and put an end to this episode for the time being. Although, unfortunately, that's a minute away. I hope you guys haven't just skipped ahead. No. Anyway. Anyway. Yeah, I kind of run out of steam at this point because, or I have myself run out of steam at this point. Unfortunately, you can't jump on that bush. It's kind of an odd thing. Or shrub, whatever it is. Sign just forever blocks you. Speak to Jess to see if anything's changed, and nope, nothing's changed. So we are going to leave him. We're going to head back upstairs once he's, done talking. We're going to head back upstairs, save, and be done with this video for the day. Anyway. My name has been Mr. Spakehannigan, as per usual, and I hope everyone's enjoyed this video, and there will be more to come, on the usual days. I don't really do much on the holidays, so haha. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all enjoy your holidays, whatever you all celebrate. Ta-ta for now.